Hey everyone, we are back at the cave with another one. The last video I put out last week talked about single women traveling abroad and how they were being targeted by criminals. I got a great response, but some people thought I was fear-mongering black women. And one person asked me why I didn't provide specific examples, because in the first one I did not, because I wanted to spare people the graphic details. But as I got to thinking, maybe that would be a good idea so people can see and hear for themselves what's really going on, and maybe more people would take better precautions for themselves. Now to start off, one reason why I decided to start alerting black women what was going on is I started hearing and seeing these different stories on the internet about black women being assaulted and robbed, even murdered, that almost none of it was being reported on by the national media. I am not doing this to scare or fear-mongering. I just think it's important for black women to understand what's going on, and if they are alone to take small safety measures so they won't become a victim. First, I will share some of these women's stories who were victims who survived and lived to tell about it, and share some stories about some black women who were not so fortunate. And in the end of this video, I'm going to share with you some safety tips you can use if you're alone that can help save your life. The killings of black women. In a year of rising homicides in the US, the increase in the death rate for black women rivaled that of black men. As homicides increased nearly 30% nationwide that year, the rate for black women and girls rose 33%, a sharper increase than for every demographic except black men, and more than double that of white women, according to a Guardian analysis of homicide data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Killings of black women and girls increased across age groups, from school-age children to senior citizens. Gun violence drove the increase, with 3/4 of homicide victims who were black women and girls dying from gunshot wounds. The increase only worsened an unspoken epidemic that has been unfolding over years, advocates say. From the mainstream feminist movement to the news media to law enforcement to community violence prevention organizations, many institutions have stayed silent about the crisis of violence against black women, who are expected to care for others, but often do not receive the same level of care, they said. But it's not just about the media coverage itself. As a society, we continue to fail at examining why nearly 100,000 black women and girls are currently missing. Most of these stories could have had a better outcome with just a few simple steps of prevention. After reading up on some of these stories, I decided against going into graphic details on their stories. Instead, I think just highlighting the problem and talk more about prevention. Here it goes. Most black women that come up missing are what is called targets of opportunity. What that means is, they put themselves in a position to make themselves easy targets for criminals. Most criminals watch and wait for women to make mistakes, for instance at night fumbling in your purse for your keys, at your home or car door, taking shortcuts while walking, or not paying attention to your surroundings when you're out, or heading to your car. That's just a few things. But let's get into prevention. The first step in prevention is, be where you are. That sounds funny, but it's not. It means when you're out of your safe home, always be alert. Don't wear headphones, don't daydream when you're out. Notice everything going on around you. That's being where you are. First mistake by victims. Next, as a woman, change up your routine and routes when driving, and notice who may be following you. Small out-of-the-way places by yourself is not a good idea. Get some company. Make sure you have gas in your car and you don't run out. If your car breaks down, never ever get a ride from a stranger, no matter how nice they seem or look. When you leave your house, always check all windows and doors. Make sure they are locked. When you come home and walk into your home, check windows, doors, closets, up under beds. Make sure no one came into the home while you were out. Bring something with you, just in case you find someone in your home, to defend yourself. Do not go to your home if a stranger is close around your door. Next, if you're driving and you think you're being followed, get the plate number if you can, or take a picture of the car. Go to a mall or major store with security. Park close to the door. Go inside and get security and you call police. Better to be safe than sorry. Avoid subways like the plague if you can, especially at night. Always carry a pocket knife. It's useful for a lot of things. It's just always good to have one. Avoid these. Drive your own car services. As a woman, if the company name is not painted on it, I would not get in it. Make sure you take the picture of anyone you get into the car with. You don't know. If you go out to party, go in groups or at least 2 people. Never ever ever do one-night stands with some stranger you just met. That's just plain flat out stupid. Never forget you are a woman, and you are not some mixed martial arts fighter woman, and for the most part you can be overpowered by a man. By remembering this, you won't put yourself in a position to be overpowered by some man. Never ever go out and get drunk around strangers. I won't even advise it around your so-called male friends. You're asking for trouble. If someone does try to put you in a car or truck against your will, fight as hard as you can, scream as loud as you can. Do not get in the car and be taken to where your screams cannot be heard. Maybe that pocket knife you have may come in handy, you never know. I hope this was helpful. I have more to come. Please subscribe to the channel. A lot of people like the content, but forget to subscribe. This is Reno in the cave. Everyone have a wonderful day. Until next time, I'm out.